Hello friends, in this session I will discuss about Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi is a small single board computer. Raspberry Pi can be used to learn programming skills, build hardware projects, do home automation, implement Kubernetes clusters and edge computing, and we can also use Raspberry Pi for industrial applications. The Raspberry Pi is a powerful and inexpensive embedded computing platform that has great community support. It is powerful enough to run a full Linux operating system. It comes with Java Standard Edition pre-installed and has digital output ports that we can use to interact with LEDs, buttons, sensors, and motors. Wireless LAN and Bluetooth low energy are also embedded on the board. Now let us see what we need to set up Raspberry Pi. First, a Raspberry Pi board of our choice. Second, micro SD card. Third, power supply. Fourth, display or TV. We can also use LCD monitor, computer monitor. Then we need keyboard and mouse. And last but not least is HDMI cable. There are different Raspberry Pi models with different features and capabilities. Pi A Plus. It has 700 MHz CPU, 250 MB RAM, 1 USB and 40 GPIOs. We have Pi B Plus. It is 700 MHz CPU, 512 MB RAM, 4 USBs and 40 GPIOs. Then we have Pi 2B. It has 900 MHz CPU, 1 GB RAM, 4 USB and 40 GPIOs. Pi 3B. CPU is 1.2 GHz, RAM is 1 GB, USB ports are 4 and 40 GPIOs. Then we have a compute module. CPU is 700 MHz, RAM 512 on no USB and no GPIOs. Raspberry Pi can support various operating system and programming languages. Supported operating systems are Raspberry, Fedora, OpenELEC, Windows 10 IoT, RaspBMC, RISC OS, Arch Linux. It supports different programming languages like Py4j, Python, Scratch, C++, Ruby. We have 40 pins on Raspberry Pi board. Many of them are not usable for GPIO, general purpose input output, since they supply power or ground. Pins 3 and 5 are for I2C inter-integrated circuit. By default, I2C or I2C bus is disabled and these pins can be used for GPIO. Pins 8 and 10 are for serial UART. UART means Universal Asynchronous Receiver and Transmitter. These pins are reserved for serial communication by default. Which need to be disabled if you want to use them as a GPIO or want to connect a serial device. Pins 19, 21, 23, 24 and 26 are for SPI, serial peripheral interface SPI. This is another communication bus for devices that is disabled by default, so these pins can also be used for GPIO. Now come to the pins 27 and 28. These pins are reserved for EEPROM, electrically erasable programmable device. These pins are designed for identification of add-on boards stacked on the top of Raspberry Pi, and we cannot use these pins for GPIO. So this is the layout of the pins. We have several accessories which comes with Raspberry board. First is protective glasses, powerful supplies, knobs, micro SD cards, keyboard and mice, display and camera boards, wireless connectivity, add-on boards, RS5 bundle cables. Thank you so much. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.